Well, good morning everybody, this is Capri Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward, and in today's video, we're going to talk about making a million gil using low-level Botanist, though this can be done even at the max level to diversify your sales. Speaking of diversity in sales, Botanist is the king of this. It is truly an amazing disciple of the land, because of its diversity in items that can be gathered, giving you a large selection of staple materials purchased in bulk, as well as other high-valued materials that are often overlooked by other botanists, so finding and pegging a market of your own is easy. But because there are so many items in which you can make a million gil, this video is going to have to be split into two separate videos, since getting all of that footage as of a level 40 pretty much slaughtered my computer. And as always, all of the details will be listed in the description below. That way, it is easy for you to sit back and enjoy the video and not have to worry too much about taking notes. Feel free to copy and paste for your own use. So let's get started with talking about the materials sold in the making of this million gil. Elm logs are still an amazing seller, considering that the elm lumber can now be purchased from vendors. But many people still need to have the high quality lumber, meaning that they still need to purchase the logs. Elm logs are level 12 material that can be gathered in the central shroud around position 2020. Highland Parsley is a level 15 material, and it is a slow seller now that deviled eggs are no longer the optimal food for in-game. Though this is still purchased in small stacks for people who are still using chilled potato soup and deviled eggs for leveling alt classes. It can be gathered in lower Noscea around position 2622. Faerie apples and yew logs are gathered in the east shroud around position 1526. Faerie apples are used to make apple tarts by culinarians, which is a nice gathering and Jade Pea food for low levels. It is also used by culinarians for leaves. Faerie apples are a level 16 material, and it is my choice for grinding botanist levels when burning leaf allowances are not an option, since they are not related to a vendor and still sell decently fast for the value. As an additional bonus, they can be eaten for 3% experience bonus, however they don't provide any additional stats. Yew logs were the slowest selling logs above level 15. Another thing to note about them is that yew lumber is also purchased from a vendor, but logs are needed for items such as engraved hard leather grimoire, goatskin grimoire, and the yew picatrix made by alchemists. Yew logs are a level 19 material. Popotos are a level 18 material found in eastern Thanalan around position 1627. Having multiple uses such as dommel gratin and chilled potato soup, these are used in high-level crafting as well as lower-level crafting, mostly used as leaves for culinarians or just as a buff food to help them level. Gil Buns are a level 19 material as well. They are used for both potions and foods, and they are used to make high potion and high potion of strength by alchemists, and baked soul, chicken and mushrooms, and raptor stew by culinarians. Gridanian Walnut, Walnut Log, and Matron's Mistletoe are gathered in the south shroud around position 2321. Gridanian walnuts are a level 21 material, and they are needed by culinarians who have chosen to use repeatable leaves to level, since they make both walnut bread as well as Noscean toast. These foods are also great if you plan on leveling a tank anytime soon. Matron's Mistletoe is a level 23 material and is needed by leveling alchemists for high potions for leaves. Walnut logs are level 24, and they play a heavy hand in helping carpenters level. And even though you can purchase the lumber from a vendor, many people who are leveling need them in a high-quality version, and once again, they have to turn to logs. Pixie Plums, Noble Grapes, and Sticky Rice are gathered in Upper Noscea around position 1424. I found that the easiest way to get there is to teleport to Aleport and run north through the portal, rather than going to Camp Bronze Lake and having to take the ferry. Pixie Plums are level 21, and they are used by culinarians to make dried prunes. Noble Grapes are level 22, and they are used to make dark vinegar and grape juice. While Sticky Rice is a level 25, and it is used to make housing decor, black truffle risotto, and cheese risotto. Button mushroom, Mhigan mustard, pearl ginger, and Millioncorn are gathered in eastern Thanalan around position 1420. Button mushroom is a level 22 material used by culinarians for button mushroom sauté, buttons in a blanket, forest mick kebab, and spinach sauté. Mhigan mustard is used to make deviled eggs and mustard eggs. Pearl ginger is a level 24 and is used to make ginger cookie, high potion of intelligence, mulled tea, shark fin soup, and spine drops. Millioncorn, which is level 25, makes cornmeal, which is used as a culinarian leaf, but cornmeal is also used for cornbread and Ishgardian muffin. Moving on to Jade Peas and Midland Cabbage. These are found in the North Shroud around position 2326. Jade Peas are level 26 and are used to make pea soup, which is actually a pretty decent CP food for how cheap it is to craft, while Midland Cabbage is level 28. And well, I sold these before I found out that one of the new crafted pets in the game is crafted after layers of materials, among which are Midland Cabbage seeds. This caused the Midland Cabbage on my main server to drop as players started to gather it, and for the rare chance of getting one of the seeds. On this character's servers, prices haven't dropped yet. Always check the prices on your server before any gathering session, even if you are following a guide on the best ways to make gil. Now, no botany gil making guide would actually be complete without mentioning Flax. Flax is a level 31 material found in the South Shroud around the base of Camp Tranquil at position 1728. Used to make linen yarn, rainy thread, undyed linen, rainy cloth, and perfect cloth, it is essential for weavers. To give you an idea of how much weavers actually need, linen yarn needs 2 flax, undyed linen requires 2 yarn, which means 4 flax, rainy thread requires 2 flax, rainy cloth needs 2 rainy thread plus 1 linen yarn, meaning 4 flax for 1 rainy cloth. Now imagine this in terms of stacks. And yes, weavers do actually use that much. Oak logs, which can be found just south of Flax in the South Shroud around position 1630, were also sold in this video. However, they are once again another lumber purchased from vendors. Yeah, I felt sick to my stomach when I saw that. Oh well, that just means more time for farming flax. So let's go ahead and move on to sales. How I designed this list was mostly to cater to anyone who is leveling their botanist, focusing on materials that are needed by other players who are leveling their crafts. Though I refuse to sell anything worth less than 110 gil. Anything less than that would not be worth my time. To be able to find these markets despite market flexes, I spent a few days watching the market board for trends and keeping an eye on other players on my server to see if I could help provide materials that they would need over the next few weeks. I also spent some time looking through higher level crafting logs and comparing the prices of those materials. Now for today's video, I only gathered each item for half an hour at least, but never more than 1 hour. Obviously, how much you make will depend on how much you gather, but I average about 2.5 stacks every 30 minutes. So as you decide what to gather, if you know your average item per hour rate, this can help you decide what is worth your time. Since there are 20 items on this list, it should basically tell you that I spent at most 20 hours gathering. Rate of sales is a different story though. I started selling the items on this list on November 19th and I looted on December 3rd, meaning it took 2 weeks to sell all of this. This is great for periods of time in which you are too busy to go get more items to sell, but it's not easy on your inventory space. So this is where you have to make an economic decision. If you are going to be busy and you can easily grab half an hour here and there and expect a decent amount of gil when you get back. If you want to make the gil faster, stick with the items that sell often and work to keep them supplied as you work towards your goals. For instance, in the video, if I wanted to make that in a hurry, I would have stuck to a flax a majority of the time. But now that I am level 41, I have an even greater range of items to sell, and that also means that I am out of the era of lumber that can be purchased from vendors. Woohoo! And it will now be easy for me to grab staple items, meaning my next Million Gil with Botany video will require a lot less sales time. Also, as I sold items on this list, I kept on seeing other materials that I overlooked when I was listing the little bits that I had picked up as I discovered other materials on nodes or as I gathered items needed for Grand Company turn-ins. Meaning that today's video is not the most comprehensive or complete guide of how to make gil with Botanist. This is the true power of Botanist. There are just so many things to sell that no one in their right mind is capable of keeping up with it. However, I gave it my best shot. Since IRL was super busy, the rate of sales didn't bother me, and I spent whatever game time I did have doing super important tasks, such as continuing with the main story quests and dancing with random players in the game. And that is the most important tip I have for you today, is to actually enjoy the game and not focus too much on gil making. And now it is finally time to tell you how much gil you can make from leveling Botanist. From my first retainer, I looted 923,000 gil, and from my second retainer, I looted 995,000 gil, for a grand total of 1,918,000 gil. So over the course of 2 weeks, that averages out to be 959,000 gil per week. And over the course of 20 hours of gathering time, that comes out to about 95,000 gil per hour. Alright everybody, I would like to thank you all for watching my video, and a big thank you to my subscribers. I am fast approaching 500 subscribers, and I never imagined to make it this far. But as always, I would be nothing without you, so keep an eye out for more conversations coming in the future.